let's take a look at the mobile version. So this is our full website right now. And of course it needs a lot of work, you guys. I've just pulled it in and I've not done any editing, so I'd have to work on it a little bit. Let's go to preview again, and we're gonna look at the whole page. There we go. So, you know, it's not perfect, but hey, I didn't have to do a whole lot of work to pull all that in. So now I'm gonna go to mobile and see what the mobile looks like. So I'm gonna click this little mobile view right here. And it's going to take me into show me what it looks like so far. So yay, there it is. It's actually a really good interpretation of what I built already. Looks fabulous. And there's that box. Now I want you to notice that box that Frank was talking about. That looks a lot different than the box that was on the desktop, doesn't it? Let's go back and look. So there's that box on the desktop. It's definitely really wide, and it's kind of tall, not real tall, but kind of tall. But then you get into mobile, and it's like, wait, what the heck happened? It's just a little bitty box. Well, remember that we have to set it on the minimum height that we want. So if we right-click it, we can go to that minimum size, and I can resize it. So I can determine what size I want it to be as far as height. The width will be determined by the width of the screen, but we can set the height. So the height we can set as really high or, you know, shorter, whatever you want. So that is the way you can manipulate the box on mobile. Now I want you to also notice that that is the only thing that I can change on the style that does not affect the desktop. This is really important. I want you to write this down in big letters. The style area when you're in mobile view, there's a couple of things. There's one thing that you work on, and that's minimum size, because that affects the mobile. But if I do anything to any of these other things, it's going to affect the desktop. Okay, so if I change the background color, let's test it out, because I want you to know that I'm telling you the truth. So let's click the color, and let's change that bad boy to red. So we'll change it over to red. So our color for the box now is red, and you're thinking, great, I have a blue box on desktop and a red one on mobile. If you're thinking that, you are wrong, because if I go back to the desktop, it is going to actually be red. So I want you to understand that when you're in the style area, the only thing that you can change is minimum size on the mobile. Anything else that you change is going to affect the desktop. Okay, that's an important thing to know. So back in mobile, when we change anything here in the style area besides minimum size is specifically for mobile. Everything else will affect the desktop. So then I hear what you're saying. You're saying, well, then wait a minute, Shelly. How do I change it? How do I change it to be what I want it to be? I don't like the spacing. I want the box smaller. Well, let's talk about how we can do that. We can go into the advanced area, and we have some new buttons here, new features here. And this is padding, left, right, top, and bottom. This does not appear when you're in desktop mode. And that's because this is only for mobile. And what it's telling you is you can change the padding. So padding is the amount of blank space you have on the left-hand side, the top, the right-hand side, and the bottom. So I can effectively change the size of this box by changing the padding. So let's take a look at that. So if I want to put some more space on the left-hand side, I'm going to just increase the left-hand side padding. If I want a little bit more space on the right-hand side, I'm just going to increase the padding. Now I want you to notice that the minimum height stays the same. If I want to change the minimum height, I need to go back to this area right here and change the minimum height. But on padding, I go to advanced. There's my padding numbers. If I want to increase the space on the top, I just increase the space. If I want to increase the space on the bottom, I just increase the space. But I want you to notice none of those buttons change how tall that box is. It only changes how wide it is, and then the space on the top and the space on the bottom. Okay, so that's going to be I think a challenge for everybody at first to figure out. Is in mobile, you're not going to be able to just click and drag it. You're going to have to manipulate it based on first what you set the minimum height to be, and then second the padding. That's going to be how you manage spacing for your items in mobile.